Hello everyone, how are you doing? I am Erin. Welcome back to my channel, Energy with Erin. I am a psychic slash energy healer. And in today's video, oh my god, you guys, we're going to talk about a couple different things. I apologize for not getting videos out earlier in the week. So I'm going to have a little bit of a longer video with a bunch of different topics for today. And I'm hoping to get another video out this weekend. So how are you doing? It's the end of the work week. Excuse me, by the time you get this, it should be Saturday, May 9th. Crazy. All the trees are blooming. Everything is starting to warm up. It's great. There's tons of flowers coming out. It's amazing. So, how are you doing? Are you guys doing good? You having a good week? Excuse me. Earlier this week, we got hit with a really long Schumann resonance spike. I don't know how or when you guys experienced it. For me, it was Tuesday. Passed out of nowhere for hours on end. Woke up with a migraine for a day and a half. Like, it sucked. But remember, our bodies are the last thing to integrate the energy, right? So, today is May 9th. Our quote of the day is live more, worry less. Okay, remember guys, live in the present moment. We talked about this in one of the recent videos. If you are depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future and thinking about what could happen instead of living in the now and experiencing the now. Instead, you're jumping ahead to the next thing. Okay, so live more. Live in the present moment. This is your life to live. What is it you want to do? If there's something you don't want to do in this life, you have the power to change it. Okay, so live more. Live your life. Don't do what other people want you to do. Do what you want to do. So I wanted to start off with an intuition test for you guys because I forgot to do that in one of the last videos. So I'm going to hold a crystal in my hand and I'm going to send it to you guys. Guess the color. That is the easiest thing to do. If you're really good, maybe you can guess the shape of the crystal. Or even the name of the crystal if you're really, really good. Okay. So I'm going to send it to you guys. And remember, the first thing that comes to your mind is your intuition. You second guessing is not your intuition. You get anything, guys? Any inklings? All right, comment down below if you got it right, okay? So, we have green aventurine. So if you got green, good job, you guys. So green aventurine. I love the feel of this crystal. It's so smooth. Everything feels really easy with this crystal. So because it's green, oh, it's also circular too. So if you got a little tumbled stone, circular, good job. So green is associated with our heart chakra. Okay. So green aventurine is known as the stone of opportunity. It's a very lucky stone. It attracts prosperity, especially in new ventures. So if you guys are starting to take steps in the right direction of your soul calling, this is a really, really good stone for that. Like we said before, it aligns with the heart chakra, which is all about our emotions and love. And remember, we talked about in the May reading, this month is all about love and relationships, all kinds of different love. This enhances your creativity. It calms your emotions, obviously, for the heart chakra, and it promotes personal growth. So this is a really good stone, you guys. If you don't have it, this is a really, really good one to have, okay? Oh, I keep this in my purse, along with citrine. It just feels so good. It feels like money, 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 money. It reminds me of jade. It's a little bit different than jade, but it reminds me of that. So, before we jump into our topics of the day, I want to remind you guys I'm still taking story submissions. I'm always taking story submissions. Honestly, I should probably figure out how to do Reddit and get stories from there. But if you guys want to send me any of your cool, spooky, miraculous, spiritual, like whatever, I mean, I'm not going to judge whatever kind of story you want. As long as it's in like the weird realm, send me your stories. You can be anonymous if you wish. You can send your stories at telerinyourstory@gmail.com. Please do. I can't wait to make videos on that. And then next announcement, next Friday, The 15th at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm doing my monthly free group distant energy healing / psychic reading. It is, like I said, it's distant. It's not over Zoom or anything. So at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you guys just set the intention to receive the energy, and you can either lie down and relax or meditate, or if you're just going to bed that night, you can do it then too. And then the next morning, I will put out the video of the rundown of what I picked up on the healing and the reading and all that stuff. It's a really good time, you guys. So please join. I have an event on Facebook right now, and I'll probably post it on YouTube under the post section. So please join us. It'll be a good time. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're gonna do a card pull for you guys. So, and this goes along with the Green Aventurine and also what we're going to be talking about shortly here. So, I did an angel number oracle card for you guys, and you guys got number 77, purpose. It's green. Remember the heart chakra, living from your heart. If you're following your soul purpose, you're living from your heart. Number 7, lucky number 7, right? Talking about the lucky stone, Green Aventurine. And it's the little crescent moon here. The moon is about your intuition and emotions, right? So tap into your intuition and your spirit and align with your soul's purpose, and it will bring you luck and prosperity. So the number 77 is all about wisdom, spiritual awakening, the quest for hidden truths. And just so you guys know, the word occult means that which is hidden. It does not mean evil. It means that which is hidden. And what that means is that which is hidden from the masses, right? Because the elites and all those people, they have access and knowledge to that information, and they use it to their benefit, and they don't want us to have it, which is why they're trying to stop everyone from being awake and learning things. And once again, lucky number 70, lucky number 7, right? So 7, when you have it twice, it's like double lucky. So have you guys been seeing 7s at all? Let me know, but this is a good sign. Are you guys following your purpose? Are you figuring it out? Maybe it's coming up for you at this time. I have a really big feeling that for a lot of you it is. So let's read what the book says about this card. This is your spiritual wake-up call. Check in on that mindset. Miracles and upheavals are heading your way, so approach them from a place of trust and love. Your connection to the infinite might feel tenuous at times, but trust that it is there. Cast aside those fears and doubts. Remember that you invite in more of that which you put out, okay? That's the law of attraction. If you're putting out anxious energy, you're going to get anxious energy back. If you put out good energy, you're going to get good energy back. You can always incorporate a little more love and light into your life. Can't we all? We all can do that. So in the upright position, this represents inner strength to overcome difficulties. I know a lot of you, I see a lot of you, like, I literally see a vision of you jumping hurdles, but it's one after another, but you guys are doing it. It looks difficult, but you guys have the capacity to do it, okay? Stick with it. Remember, Taurus season. You're building something sustainable. It's slow and steady, but you're going to have roadblocks, but you need to figure out how to get around them. But I see you guys jumping over the hurdles just fine. I feel like it's more mentally in your head that you're like, oh, I can't do this, even though like you already are doing it. So give yourself some credit. Alignment with your soul's purpose. Once again, we already talked about that. Positive changes unfolding on your path. So, like it was talking about, miracles and upheavals are coming your way. It reminds me of the Tower card. That which is not based on a solid foundation will fall. And it feels like the end of the world because what you had going is what you know and you were comfortable. But it's not working. And that's why it's falling, because it's not sustainable. Okay? But once you can clear away the debris, you can rebuild again and rebuild correctly, quote unquote correctly, right? So that it will last. Okay? So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to have things fall out of your life. Yes, mourn it, but it's time to move on. Okay? It's falling out of your life for a reason. Tuning to a frequency of love and growth. Again, the heart chakra. That's all about loving. Okay. Your affirmation for this card is I'm exactly where I need to be. Okay. This came out in the upright position. I literally started shuffling and it flew out immediately. I'm like, okay, thank you. We're going to take that card. But in the reverse position, because maybe you guys are feeling the reversed effects of this. So maybe you guys are experiencing fear leading to avoidance. Remember, face your fears. Do the thing that makes you uncomfortable. Do the thing that scares you. Because once you do it, you're going to be like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Because it's in your head. Stagnation and despair about the future. Living an insincere life. Not living from your heart. Feeling defeated by the challenges you encounter. Okay? Like I said earlier, you feel like these hurdles you can't get over, but it's mental, it's in your head. You can absolutely do it. Okay, so I trust and believe in you guys. You trust and believe in yourself and your capabilities? Because you should. You totally can do it. So, what do we think about this? It's a good sign. It's a good sign. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so the first topic for the video of today, I want to talk about disclosure. It keeps coming out. The government dropped a bunch of files today. I have not looked into the files, but I did see some of the pictures and videos that they dropped, and I was just like, really? Really? This is what you guys are giving us? Like, the stuff that you sent out a couple years ago, when all the government people and the Air Force were coming out and doing the rounds about, was it the Tic Tac UFO, but it was also another UFO that was like going like way too fast, but they were able to lock onto it, and like it's like rotating in space. You can look it up. I cannot remember for the life of me the name of the guy who talks about it, but he's been on Joe Rogan and stuff. I think it came out around like 2022. So look that up. But that footage was more impressive, and that was like from 2001, 2011 or something like that. And he was just allowed to talk about it. So yeah, I was just like, that's all you got? But I'm sure to some normies and people who don't believe in this stuff, it's really gonna freak them out, okay? To me, I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, give me the good stuff. You guys have the good stuff. Like, this is nothing to me. So this also came up in other readings. It keeps coming up, disclosure, disclosure, disclosure. So I asked them, I was like, you guys, what can I tell people to help with, the disclosure and the discernment? Sorry, I kept saying disclosure. I meant discernment. And they were just like, feel it in your heart. Like, close your eyes and like try to body douse. Like, so if you go forward, that's usually like close your eyes, stand still, ask a question. And if you go forward, that's a yes. And if you go backwards, that's a no. Okay, but in order to do that, you can't be in a state of fear. You can't be anxious about it. You need to, if you are, you need to meditate and ground first, get into a calm state, and then start asking the questions. Because if you're rooted in fear, you're probably going to get fear-based answers back, and it's not going to be from like your guides. It's going to be like from your head. And oh my God, because you're overthinking, right? And then the other thing that came up is the hantavirus. Oh my God. There's also something going on astrologically that is like, oh, well, the last time this happened was like the Spanish flu and a bunch of people died and oh my God. And it's just like, you guys, they're trying to bring back COVID 2.0 with this, okay? Like, I wouldn't feed into it. There's people stuck on a cruise ship because there's the hantavirus on the ship, apparently, and a couple people have died, and this guy came out with a video who was trapped on the boat talking about what's going on. If you've seen that video, watch. Okay, I studied psychology a lot, and criminal justice and body language I study. And if you look at his eyes when he's giving that video, number one, his emotions were insincere to me. It seemed like a show. And number two, if you look at his eyes, you can tell he's reading something, like a teleprompter or some written statement. So I'm not saying that that's not happening. I'm just saying I'm seeing some red flags that are like, something's off to me. So they're going to try to push it again. The whole pandemic thing. They're going to see if it works, because it worked pretty good the last time. Don't be afraid, you guys. They put out stuff all the time. Do your research on immunology. Okay, the reason why I could see through the bullshit back during the pandemic was because I took a course on immunology, and college, and I didn't even pick that class. Like, it was assigned to me. And my dad also worked in the pharmaceutical industry, so I knew about how long it takes for the like studies to happen and how long it takes to approve a drug. And I was like, they can't approve a drug in like 6 months. It takes like a decade to do that shit. So yeah, no, I don't. So my alarm bells are going off immediately back then. And they're going off now. And it's just like I think a lot of people have had enough of what happened before. A lot more people are awake. So I'm not really worried about it. It's just, is everyone else going to get swept up into it? And people need to say no this time. But I think we'll be fine. Quite honestly, I think we're going to be all right. All right. So the next thing I want to tell you guys about, I had this crazy vision yesterday. And I hope I can describe it and explain it well. But I thought it was interesting, totally made sense to me. Maybe it will make sense to you, or maybe pique your interest or get you to ask some questions. So I had a vision that I was in this globe type room, like on the inside of a globe, and it was completely white. And I was kind of like, so here's the globe. I was kind of like down here, and there was this humongous being, like a white being, had no facial features, just, a figure, a huge tall figure, like standing over here, and I'm kind of down here, and I'm looking up at what is in this globe. And it literally looked like in the Matrix movie, I think, was it the second one, when Neo went and visited the architect? And he was in a room filled with TV screens, but it was like green, because the Matrix, like green is a theme in that. Um, it looked like a bunch of TVs, and like the architect was seeing things and stuff. It literally looked like that, except the TVs were way tinier, way, way tinier. And it was literally, the being in the room was God, to my understanding. And all these TVs were pieces of God, because we all have a piece of God within us, right? And that's how we're connected to source, and God is learning through us, learning lessons through us. That's why there's duality and stuff. He learns from the good stuff and the bad stuff, just as we're learning, right? But he's learning through us just as we're learning through him, and all that stuff. So that is how he is seeing all the lessons and stuff. It's very interesting. Honestly, it goes much higher than that in quantumly, but like I can't describe it well enough to make a video on it. And this entity notices that I'm there, and kind of like looks down at me and is like, what are you doing here? Like, you are not allowed to be here. And like he kind of like kicked me out. And then I saw an image. It was almost like not the It was almost like I was seeing the actual Matrix, but it was different. Every, like the fabric of reality that I was seeing in my mind's eye was like everything was made up of tiny triangles. Like in the Matrix, it's like a grid, it's like a line, and then if you really look into it, it's ones and zeros. The way I looked at it was like the fabric of reality was like all these like interlocking triangles, like very small triangles, and inside each triangle was an eye, and that represented God's eye, and like that's how he's watching you. And I was like, okay, that is showing me God is everywhere, God is in everything. That's how God knows your thoughts, your words, and actions, and that's how he's seeing us. So it's like I saw both ends of how he sees us, like back in like his control room type of looking thing, and then like the TVs are actually like the fabric of reality, and like he is watching us and stuff. And I was just like, whoa. And the eyes in the triangle looked a lot like Alex Gray's art on DMT. I've never taken DMT or anything like that. Very interesting stories. Go down that rabbit hole, learn about that stuff. People claim that wherever they go on DMT feels more real than here. Very cool stuff. I think I'm a little too afraid to try something like that. I mean, I'll try anything once, but like I don't know about that. So yeah, very interesting, you guys. But go check out Alex Gray, his artwork, and you'll see what I mean. He has a lot of artwork with eyes in it, and that's what it looked like. And I was like, oh, that is the eye of God. Like, I could tell. It was not just a random eye, it was the eye of God. So, very interesting stuff, you guys. I've never had a vision like that before. It was very intense, very cool. And, like, I'm just, like, staring off to the side, and my husband's just like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine, I'm just seeing stuff." Story of my life, right? Crazy. Oh my goodness, okay. So, in today's video, I know we talked about a bunch of stuff already, but in the focus of today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the spiritual awakening stages. I'm going to make a longer video on that, but just going to go over a brief overview of it and then kind of tell you guys my story and kind of like how my spiritual awakening path unfolded. Okay. So, the first, it's not even the first stage. We all start out unenlightened, right? Like, we are living in survival mode. We are egoic. We are not nice to other people. We're not nice to ourselves. We don't believe in any of the woo-woo stuff. Like, you might not believe in God or anything like that. So that's where we start off, and everyone starts off there. Okay, like, I know once you go through your spiritual awakening or you're going through it and you see other people who are unenlightened and it irritates you, it's just like, well, you were like that too. Like, I was not the nicest person, like, when I was unenlightened. I'm not perfect right now either, but I recognize the mistakes I make and I try to make amends, where I can and when I can. So it's not the first stage, but that's kind of where everyone starts out, being unenlightened. Okay. The first stage is like the initiation. It's like the start. Usually something big happens in your life. Excuse me. It could be good or bad. Usually it could be like the death of someone, or like you go through like a really bad illness that almost killed you, or maybe a near death experience. Maybe you witnessed like something miraculous happen. Maybe you had some energy healing and it was able to open up some blocks, and it's just like, oh crap, I'm ready now. So it's not always a bad thing, okay? Sometimes it's something positive. Um, and that leads you to search for more information and start looking at things on a deeper level rather than surface level. And you start asking questions about like who you really are and like what your soul purpose is and like why you're here. So that's the first stage. The second stage is the stage about where you're looking for answers, right? You start shifting your perspective, like major shifts in perspective in your life. You start asking more and more questions, you get more and more answers. And the more questions you ask and the more answers you get, the more your perspective really changes, okay? The next stage is looking for answers within. So you're searching for more deeper things. You're questioning who you really, really are and what your soul purpose is and why you're here. Okay. It's very much like the beginning stages, but like, remember, the more stages you go in, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. Um, The next stage is like the new you, where you're integrating your lessons. You're going through shadow work, the dark night of the soul, really looking at every angle of you, the good and the bad, instead of saying, oh, that's the bad is not a part of me. No, it's a part of you too. It's a part that needs to be healed and integrated back into your personality. This can take a really long time. It's all about how willing you are to do the work and how, if you can let go, if your ego can let go. um a lot of people are in this section for a long time because it's hard, and when you're in this stage you are isolating big time because you're going within. You're not asking other people who you are, you're asking yourself who you are. And then the next stage is spiritual alignment or enlightenment. You are living your life purpose at that point. You trust in yourself and your guides and God, and you are in complete alignment with your life. And then the final stage is like the ultimate enlightenment, the ascended masters like Jesus Christ and Buddha. Um and some monks can get there as well. But it's basically you have to be in such a high vibe for years and years and years and years and years. It's very difficult to do. It's not impossible, but you have to really dedicate your life to it. Basically, like whenever anything negative comes your way, like you are not swayed by it at all. You are totally chill, you are calm. So that's kind of what that's like. So that's just a brief overview. I plan on doing more of a detailed version of that coming soon. So, my story and my spiritual awakening. Okay, so like I've said in previous videos, I was born psychic. Both sides of my family have psychic abilities and they're different. So it's already in my DNA. I've always been interested in like witchy stuff, ghosts, paranormal. As a kid, I read a lot. And I really think that helped develop my imagination. So if you guys are looking to open up your pineal gland or your third eye and really work on your clairvoyance, reading is a really, really great tool to do that. Okay. Like when I read, it was like watching a movie in my mind. Like the more detailed you can get with that stuff, the better. So it's funny when I moved to this house, long, long time ago, as a child, the people who used to live here left stuff behind. Which I always think is weird. I was like, why wouldn't you just clear out the house? Like, I don't understand. But they left behind like an encyclopedia of like all kinds of supernatural stuff, like from A to Z. So I ate those books up. We don't have them anymore. I really wish we did. But it had everything from like mediumship, ghosts, the Bermuda Triangle, like aliens, all kinds of stuff. Growing up, I watched all the ghost shows, all the alien shows, like History Channel, um, all that stuff. I saw ghosts growing up all the time. I've been spiritually attacked growing up, and then I kind of like went away from it for a little bit. Like I was always into weird stuff, but like around 12 years old, something bad happened to me, and I was just like, okay, I'm like kind of over this. And then like puberty started happening, and I just kind of was like, I'm gonna live a normal life now for a little bit. And they're like, okay, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Weird stuff still happened to me, but I like weird stuff has always happened to me, you guys, but like I never really pieced together that like, oh, I have gifts, I'm psychic, I'm a medium or whatever. Honestly, to me, they're just labels. Okay, I think we all have the capacity to do this stuff. I don't think I'm special. I think we can all do this personally. Some people are just better at it than others, or it comes more naturally to them. So then I learned a lot about psychology in high school. I took some AP classes. I was able to skip some classes in college because of it. Went to college for psychology. Got my bachelor's in that. Went through a lot of messed up psychological stuff in college. But it was good to get away from home and stuff. Um, and then I was just kind of lost. Like I had a really hard time finding a job in my field. So then I worked at a local retail store, and then that's where I met my husband and we fell in love and it was great, and became a stepmom to my stepkids, and just like grew up. And like I was in my early 20s when all this happened. So like it all just happened so fast, but it was so great. Um and then I decided to go back to school for my master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. And and at that point, I was working with adults with special needs. And it was really cool because while I was in college, I had a summer job. And we basically like ran the college during the summer for like camps and stuff, like other groups to use the college and stuff. So like we had to like man the dorms and like welcome them and help them check in and let them in and out of the building and all this stuff. And one of the groups that was there was a group with special needs, and I fell in love with them. Like I thought they were so amazing. Like, and back then I didn't know then, but like I could see their light and how special they are and just how happy they are. And like they really are special guys. Like they come into this world sacrificing either their body or their mind or a combination of the two to teach us lessons. When they go over to the other side, like they don't have to come back here. Like they may have had a hard life here, but they get rewarded majorly in the afterlife. Um, and I've actually felt that with some clients that I worked with who passed away. I was like, oh, they're not even here. They're like in another galaxy. Like I can't even contact this person. Like they are out of here. So it's funny because looking back, it's like you can see the stepping stones on your path, right? So then I started working with adults with disabilities, and I've been doing that for the last 12 years, and it just feeds my soul, and I love them so much. It's just, oh, they're so great. So it's really cool to look back at like the stepping stones. So while I was doing my job now, I went to school. almost made it. Like, guys, I'm a great student, 4.0 GPA. I had one class left to pass, to take, and then I had to do a year internship. But it just didn't really work out. And in my soul, I knew it. Like, my last year going to school, I would cry every night leaving and driving home. Because in my soul, I knew that this is not what I was supposed to do. It's like I always wanted to help people. I always had this knowing I wanted to help people. I just didn't know how. And psychology interested me because I'm like, I want to know why people do the things they do. So psychology was like a lead into that. Um, so I figured, oh yeah, I'll go be a counselor. And then I learned some stuff and they didn't tell us until our last year. And I'm like, what? This isn't what I signed up for. Why did you guys wait 3 years into the program to tell us this? And it was crazy, you guys. Compared to my bachelor's degree to my master's degree, they were hardcore in the bachelor's degree, like as far as like grading and cheating and stuff like that. The master's degree, they're like, oh yeah, you can send your assignments in 6 months late, even after the class is done, and you guys can use open book and you guys can work together. And I was like, so you're just taking our money and being like, yeah, just do your quiz from the book? I was like, people aren't learning that way. And the ideology of what they were teaching us was weird, and some of the teachers were like not nice, and I was just like, oh my god, this is like not what I thought it was. So I decided not to go, and a lot of people were like, you're so dumb, why didn't you just finish the degree? And it's just like, you guys have no idea. Like, it wasn't just you get the degree and you're done. Like, there was a lot more to it. So I didn't finish that degree, which is like, maybe that was a mistake, but it is what it is. All roads lead to the same destination eventually. Um, and then in 2020, literally right before the pandemic started, my dad died. And I'll make a whole nother video on that one day and go down the rabbit hole with that. But we did not have a good relationship. He had substance abuse issues. So he was physically at the house, but he wasn't like emotionally there for me. So that really affected me and hurt my heart and our relationship and all this stuff. So when he died, that was my catalyst. That was the thing that rattled my cage and was like, okay, things are going to change. And then he died. I was mourning his death and dealing with it. And then the whole world shut down. And I felt like I shut it down because I was just like, the world just needs to stop. I can't take this anymore. Because like, it took him a long, he suffered a long time before he passed, and were living in that, and it just day in and day out, and I felt like I was in purgatory. I felt like I was in hell. It was very much like in the remake of the was it The Haunting, where like this paranormal research people gets people to do a sleep study in a haunted mansion, but in reality he's testing to see if like they can interact with the ghosts and stuff. So the character Eleanor, or Nell, it's also a book as well, guys. It's a really good book, go read it. I think it's by Shirley Hill or something like that. Is it The Haunting of Hill House? Is that what it is? The Haunting of Hill House. That's what it is. The Haunting of Hill House. But Eleanor, she in that movie, she was taking care of her dying mother, and she says that same metaphor of like living with her and taking care of her while she was dying was like hell. It was like living in purgatory, and I literally felt like that. And then once he died, I felt released, and it was like I should be sad that my dad's dead, like not happy. Like this is fucking weird. Like, and then I felt guilty for that. And then he was trying to reach out to me and I was pushing him away. So I'll go into that story another day. So during that time it was like I switched shifts to third shift, and I'm like by myself at night. So that was very much like me going into like the cocoon phase and like the hermit mode, and like I had so much time to listen to podcasts and learn things. And honestly, like the year and a half after my dad died, I don't even remember. It's like I blacked it out. It was like everything was shut down and no one could go to work. I was still going to work. It did not affect me really. Obviously it was the things were different at work, but like my life for the most part did not stop like a lot of other people's did. But I was just looking for answers, and they were coming in. And at some point, I really got into crystals. I think one day we were taking a drive and we saw a crystal store, and I was like, hey, let's go in there, and started buying crystals. And I was hooked. I was obsessed. I was like, oh my God, this is my thing. This is my jam. Um, so this is when I was like in the search for answer stage and shifting my perspective. So I got into crystals. I ended up taking these courses and becoming certified as a crystal practitioner and an advanced crystal master. But it was really cool because it was taught by someone who's a science teacher. So she melded the science and the scientific evidence with all the woo woo spiritual stuff and married it together. And I was like, I love this. This is like perfect. Because it's not just like, oh, love and light, like, oh, this rock is magical. It's like, no, they explain the frequency, the vibration, and the healing energy and all this stuff. Um, and then I started getting into Psychic Teachers podcast with Deb and Samantha. And then I took a tarot class with Deb, and she's very old school. So I learned the old school way. And then I went and took classes with Samantha, and she teaches psychic classes. So I took psychic classes, and I realized I was fucking really good at it. I was really, really good without even realizing it. And I met a lot of people during those classes, and we ended up keeping our group going after the classes were over for about a year and a half. And I still keep in contact with a lot of those people to this day. So it's really cool, like picking up friends along the way and like seeing who sticks with you and like looking back and seeing how far you've come together in your own journeys. It's some good stuff. Oh, what happened next? Oh my God, sorry, there's so much. Then I took mediumship classes with Denise. So Denise, Samantha from Psychic Teachers Podcast has another podcast with Denise, and she teaches, their other podcast is called Enlightened Empaths. And so I took some mediumship classes with Denise. Now, can I connect with the dead? Yes. Is it my strong suit? It's not as strong as some other people. Honestly, I more lean on like my psychic abilities when I'm talking to dead people rather than like mediumship. I can do it. It's just not my strong suit. Or it's different than someone who's like a true like medium and like that is their thing. Okay? I can still get information and stuff from your loved one, but it's just different. And then what else did I do? And then Mark Bayersky, he is an energy healer over in Spain. I took classes with him, and he has had some very interesting stories and very interesting clients who have told him some very crazy stuff. But I took some energy healing classes with him as well as some crystal energy healing classes. And then I ended up taking Enlightenment Academy with my mentor, Kelly Miller. I love her. She's so great. It was so synchronistic, you guys. My best friend had just moved to Omaha. And then when I was doing my psychic development classes, it was after the classes, but our groups were still meeting, and we were experimenting with channeling and automatic writing. And this random video popped up on YouTube about how to automatic write, and it was Kelly. And then I started getting into her stuff, and I was like hooked. I was like, oh my God, this is the teacher I've been looking for. Not that my other teachers were not good, my other teachers were amazing. But like, I look at her as like my ultimate teacher. Like, just so good, you guys. And then I found out she was in Omaha, and I'm like, my best friend just moved there. And it's been a couple years since I've seen her, and like we're due for a visit. Like, this is weird. And I was just like, you guys, this is meant to be. So I went and took classes with her. I went and took 3 different classes with her, and then I went and got Reiki certified by her. She teaches it more non-traditionally. And then because I was like, oh, well, I feel like I need to get traditional. So then I went and took some traditional Reiki classes. And then I went and became ordained as a minister for Universal Life Church. Basically that was more done for like liability reasons, but as a child, like I was like, I'm going to be a nun. So this spirituality thing has always been with me, and like religion. I grew up Irish Catholic. Did not really, I resonated with some spiritual aspects of it, but a lot of it I didn't. So I wouldn't say I'm religious per se. I'm much more spiritual. But I do have that background. So maybe someday I will be using my minister license at some point. Um, and then from there, it was just more like going through Dark Night of the Soul stuff, like working more on my ish. And I'm stubborn. So I've been going through that for about 3, 4 years. I'm pretty much at the end of it now. I'm almost at the point where I'm doing my life purpose, which is why I'm starting the business and everything. So exciting, you guys. Oh, so exciting. There's so much happening. Oh, it's gonna be so good. I can't wait. Can't wait to show it all to you guys. Um, and yeah, so eventually I'll be living my life purpose pretty soon, and I'm going to be trusting in myself and being in alignment with my life. And yeah, and then that's enlightenment, just treating each other like you would want to be treated, knowing that we are all a piece of God's light. We're all brothers and sisters, and we need to treat each other as such. So yeah, that is kind of a little bit about my spiritual awakening story and the rabbit holes I went down. When I was working at work, when I first started switching the shifts, that's when I got into a lot of like the 4D conspiracy theories type of stuff. That took a long time to go through. And honestly, you know what I did during that time? And that's when I started talking and connecting to my guides more and learning more about that. And they were so helpful. They're always helpful. Um, but all you have to do is ask. It's gonna take time, but ask. So when I was going through my 4D conspiracy theory and like stuff, I asked God. I was like, "Can you show me the nature of reality?" And he did. Took about 8 months to show me all the things, but he did show me. And it came at a time when I was spiritually ready on a soul level to hear it and understand it and take it in and let it soak in and like actually absorb it and believe it and integrate it into me. So that's what I mean when I say ask and you shall receive, guys. You just have to ask. It's either yes, no, or not right now. And it will come in. So ask crazy questions. Ask the weirdest questions and you will get the message. You have to be observant and watch for it. So for me, I was hearing a lot of the stuff. So it was in the podcasts I was listening to. It was in the YouTube videos that were coming up for me. And remember, tailor your algorithm to your social medias to what you want to see. So during that time, I was like unfollowing people that I didn't align with anymore. I was clicking off stuff, being like, I don't want to see this, but I want to see more of that. And I really tailored it. And because my spirit guides, we're always on our phones, and I know I was at the time. Your spirit guides will talk to you through your phone with posts that come up and stuff. And if it catches your eye, you need to look at it because that is the sign. Remember, the sign is not always going to bonk you on the head. It's not always going to be a miracle. Although sometimes they are, if you're lucky. It's always the subtle signs, but you have to know that it's a sign and you have to pick up on it and you have to like acknowledge it and let them know and then thank them for it. That's why when I'm doing readings and they're talking to me, I always say, you hear me say a lot like thank you, spirit, because I'm letting them know, hey, that works, that's good, and I'm appreciative of the information. Thank you. So that stuff really does work, you guys. As far as any advice for the different stages, maybe I'll go more into that tomorrow. Just follow your curiosity. Just because you're looking into one thing doesn't mean that's going to be the end all be all. It could be a stepping stone on your path. Like I know for me, like all the things that I just went through, like getting into crystals, getting into healing and tarot, and then the psychic stuff, and then the medium, and then more deeper of the energy healing, because now what I'm doing, I have melded that all together and have made it my own. And now I'm more knowledgeable because I've done a bunch of different modalities, and I've even done the same modality but taught by different people and taught differently. So I have an even deeper understanding and I have more tools in my toolbox to use to help you guys, okay? So you might start out as like with me, I was like crazy into crystals, and that's how I amassed my crystal collection. And then I got into tarots, and then I amassed a tarot collection, an oracle deck collection. And then I was going into more psychic stuff, and then the mediumship and all that. So it adds up over time and it evolves. Enjoy the journey, you guys. This is your journey. Remember, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Be in the now, appreciate where you are now because you're not always going to be there, and you're probably going to rise up. I mean, It might go up and down. Remember, this is very much like the, is it Kubler-Ross's process of dealing with death, like the stages of dealing with death, like grief, bargaining, all that's acceptance, all that stuff. When you go through the process of the death stages or whatever, you might not hit every single one, and you might not hit it in order. Sometimes you're going to skip them. Sometimes you're going to jump around. It is the same thing with the spiritual awakening stages. It doesn't always flow like that. Sometimes you go back and forth. Sometimes you skip around. And I've noticed in my journey that does happen as well. Remember, it's all about where you are on your path, and if you're ready to deal with the next step. And if you're not, then you got to deal with the other stuff in your life, and then they can bring you to the next step. So, where are you guys at in your spiritual awakening journey? Did you have a favorite stage? I know when all the synchronicities and all the magical stuff started coming in, that was pretty special. That was really special. I really, really like diving into the 4D stuff and like the conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories. That was really amazing. Honestly, the whole journey's been amazing. Like the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then once you can look back, you can really look back at your life objectively. Not subjectively, objectively, and be like, oh, that's why that happened to me. That's why this happened to me. And that's why these people are in my life. And that's why I dated that person. That's why I had that crappy friend. That's why I had these parents. Everything starts making sense to you. And then you're like, oh, okay, there is a reason for everything. And like, everything is okay. Like, life is just one big game. And we're here to conquer our character. Remember, you are not the character in this game of life. You are the player. You are the person playing the character. Look at it as a video game. You're not the character in the screen. You're the person playing the game. And once you can figure that out, life gets pretty magical and cool, you guys. Very cool. So, that's all I got for you guys. That is basically the meat of the video for today. So, how is your spiritual journey awakening going? Are you in a good spot right now? Are you stuck in a rut? What's going on? Let me know. And just to wrap up the video, I just want to repeat, remember, give me your stories at tellerenyourstory@gmail.com. Next Friday, I'm doing the free distant healing and reading, so please come join me for that. It'll be a good time. And then, which is actually perfect because the next day is the new moon. And that's perfect. It's going to help clear you guys energetically. It's going to give you some advice. So the new moon is going to be the very next day, and you can start setting those intentions for the next moon cycle. Good stuff, you guys. And it's Mother's Day this weekend, you guys. Go celebrate your mothers. If your mother's in heaven, talk to her, and I'm sure you guys will get signs. You'll get signs, especially from moms. Moms, yeah, they got special connection with you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Until next time, we're going to talk again more about spiritual awakening stages, I think. And yeah, sorry, I don't even know how to end the video. It's just, wow, there was just so much that we talked about, and we went all over the place. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're doing well. And I hope to see you in the next video, you guys. Hang in there. I love you guys. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. All right. Remember, use your discernment with everything that's going on. As far as the alien disclosure and the hantavirus, do not let fear control you, because that's what they want. Do not be a puppet. Do not do what they are expecting you to do. Okay? I see good things happening. I know people are freaking out about it, or maybe some of you aren't, but there's a lot of nervousness going on in the collective right now, but it's like, you guys, it's a good nervousness. It's an excitement. It's not nervous, it's excitement. Because things, like, it's like, like the vibes are rising, and because it's rising, it's separating, like the 3D and the 5D, the old Earth, the new Earth, whatever, and it's just like, it's starting to happen more and more, and it's going like that. Oh, it's just so exciting, you guys, because I've been seeing this for years, and it's finally happening, and it's just like, Oh, grab my popcorn. Let's go, you guys. Let's go. Let's go. It's going to be so good. So, I love you. Spend some time with your mom this weekend. Honor and love your mom, okay, you guys? And yeah, just keep going, you guys. I see a lot of you. You feel like you're stuck in a rut right now, and like you're like, oh, it's never gonna happen. It's a lot closer than you think. Whatever it is that you're thinking about, you're like, oh, it's not happening. It's gonna happen during the summer, and if it's not during the summer, early fall. So get buckled up and geared up for it, okay? Work on your whatever you need to work on, refine it, and put it into action. Whether it's internally or externally, whether you're doing the inner work or you're already done the inner work and you're ready to do the outer work, okay? Good stuff, you guys. I love you. I believe in you. And until next time, I am Erin with Energy with Erin. I love you guys. Sending you peace, love, light, and healing. I'll talk to you later. Bye.